Well, I'm in a relationship at the moment. I've been in one for like 10 months now, and yeah, do you know, I've always been pretty good. I've always, kind of sounds kind of bad, but I've always ended up having a relationship because I love love. I'm an advocate for love.
I'm not in a relationship, no.
Do you want to be in one?
I wouldn't mind if I was in a relationship, just as long as the guy understands that my career comes first and then him.
I don't want to be in a relationship at the moment because I've recently come out of a relationship, and I like to tend to give myself some time, some space. Might go on a date if you're lucky. But yeah, at the moment, no, quite relaxed.
I'm not in a relationship at the moment. I wouldn't want to be right now just because I've got a lot going on and it's a lot to think about. It's quite a big burden to take on at the moment, so not yet. It'll come in due time.
I am. So I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years.
I am in a relationship, yes.
I'm not in a relationship at the moment. And in terms of being in one, I don't know. It's a lot of work. So like, I wouldn't mind being in one, but yeah, it's a lot of work. I don't really have time for that.
I am in a relationship. I'm actually engaged to be married.
Never short term. I don't, unless you know, I'm just looking for fun, you know what I mean? But in general, for relationships, no. I don't see the point of people when they say, yeah, I'll get with this girl, I think it's gonna last for like a couple of months. Then why are you there? Why are you wasting my time? Don't waste my time, please. I want it for the long haul, okay? Great, because I'm not about wasting time, that's not me. I think if you're gonna be in a relationship, it's gotta be serious. Don't make it a relationship then. Carry on making it a link, not a relationship.
Long term, yeah, because I feel like I'm getting older, so if I'm committing myself to be with someone, then it's hopefully going to be for the long term. I don't have time and energy to just be with someone for a few months here and there.
You'd obviously prefer it to be long term because with most relationships, at the end of the day, the whole thing is about going further and further and finding that person, well for me, finding that person that you might want to spend the rest of your life with. There's kind of no point in just having random short-term relationships. But that can happen if the person's not right for you, so.
I've always been pretty serious-minded. Sure, in the past, a few unexpected, I guess maybe the best word or not, although I can only think of it as flings, but no, for now I am a long-term type of person.
I would say long term. For me personally, I don't really see the point in purposely trying to have a short-term relationship. I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me personally. It's either you're in it or you're not. So that's, yeah, long term.
Mainly long term. I don't really see a point in doing anything short term.
That's a good question. I don't think you ever go into a relationship or should ever go into something going, this is what I want from you, or this is how you should be in order for us to have a long-term relationship, because I think you completely kill everything at that point. You should just go into it full-heartedly and just see what happens, I think.
Cringe. Cringe.
I just, you know, if we're flirting, I don't know, even in further stages, it's cringe for me, just because it's me. I don't want a sext, no.
That's what my face would be like first. No. I mean, I guess I get it, like, you know, once you've been talking for a while, you say the kind of like little sexy thing here and there, but I would be, especially when you just start talking to them and they want to throw in something like that, no, because the only thing that suggests to me is that you're looking for one thing. And if I'm looking, like I said, if I'm looking for something serious, I'm not into that. Don't take me for an, I'm not going to say the word, I don't want to swear. But no, I'm not into that. Don't send me no sex, please. I'm not going to take you seriously. Block, not block, but I'll be like, delete, See you later. Have a nice time. Go text Cindy or whatever her name is.
I mean, obviously it depends on how I feel about the guy. I mean, some guys, if you're at that stage where you know you're sexually attracted to each other but you haven't said anything yet, and that starts it off, obviously maybe, you know, I might reply with a sext back. But yeah, I tend to try to move a bit slower and see how things go. But if I feel comfortable with it, then I'll reply and be like, hey.
I don't know, just make me feel a bit uncomfortable, really. It's a bit unnecessary. Just save it for the bedroom. Save it for like real life. I don't want to see it unless it's in front of me.
Yeah, so if it was like a full-on private area picture, I just would stop communication. I don't know, I just don't like to kind of, I don't know whether it is rising to the bait, but because anything like that, it's either intended for for just to get a kick out of it, like laughing or a shock. But funnily enough, if it's kind of like a written innuendo that's quite clever, then if I can sort of see humour, then I would respond back. But I don't know how far I take it, because sometimes it can go down an offensive route, and I wouldn't want that. So, and there to be misunderstandings either of like what I want as well.
If I'm not in a relationship, let's say, I would say it depends on how long I've been talking to them. It depends on if I like them like that, maybe. So I don't know. It depends. If I'm not really into them like that, then it may just kind of put me off. But if I like them like that, then maybe it depends on what's said. As long as it's not insulting, then yeah, just keep talking, really. Yeah.
Send one back. But obviously it depends on who I'm talking to, because like if I'm not interested in a guy, I don't want to lead him on. But yeah, if I'm interested, then send one back. Come on.
Depends. If I really liked him, I'd probably send something pretty dirty back. Like, I think you just have to be open with your sexuality a bit, you know?
Not really. I mean, I think that's fine. I mean, I have a lot of guy friends. I think it's okay to have friends of the opposite sex. I think the only time it gets threatening is if probably you've never really been introduced to these girls. You always see them pop up on his timeline, maybe on Facebook or Insta or whatever, but he's never introduced you to them. Then I can understand why that would, you'd feel a bit threatened by that. Especially, you know, you have some relationships with the opposite sex where you're quite you joke around, but you're flirting, but you're joking, but it means nothing. So I can understand why, you know, some girls would be threatened by that, and that is kind of scary. But if I know the girls, if I've spoken to them, now I've hung out with them, then I don't think there's any problem with that. I mean, I wouldn't find it normal for anyone not to have friends of the opposite sex. I wouldn't find that normal. I think that's okay. I do know quite a few girls who are very like, you're not talking to other girls, not even as friends, it's just your guys and me, and I don't think that's realistic. That ain't gonna happen.
Personally, because I've had this experience before, I'm the one who's usually the one with more male friends. And it turns out that they usually feel a little bit threatened. But when the guy has a lot of female friends, I usually become their friends. And I always feel like that's kind of the best thing to do. Like, for example, when I said I want to end up in a long-term relationship, if you're that person that I care about and I love, of course I'm going to be friends with your friends. Like, to me, that just makes sense.
No girlfriend wants to know that no girlfriend like would want their boyfriend to have a lot of female friends. I can't speak for all girls. I wouldn't want my boyfriend to have a lot of female friends, but if he did, then so be it. I've got male friends, and do you know what I mean? They're not trying to hit on me, so I'll just have to respect that.
Before I would have entered their life anyway, if he really was into someone, he would have made that move like ages ago. So I've got a lot of guy friends, and funnily enough my boyfriend does have female friends, and now I've never felt intimidated.
If you're with someone that has no self-control, or you're worried that they're too flirty with other people and that sort of stuff, then yeah, I would be threatened. But yeah, it depends on the person. I wouldn't really be with someone who I don't feel can control themselves.
I'm not gonna lie, yes. Not threatened, but concerned.
Well, that's a pretty good question too. I am a jealous person, I will fully 100% admit that. But at the same time, I don't want him not to have female friends. It's just more the fact that sometimes girls can be very territorial with male friends and be like, oh, remember this time when we had all these relations, blah, blah, blah. And they try to kind of put you down. I think girls can be really catty. So I do want him to have friends, but I am jealous.
I do want to get married and have kids. That would be the ultimate destination, and that to me screams a successful life for me personally. I mean, obviously not now. I feel like I'm still focusing on what I've got to do, still trying to, you know, make my way around the world, and I wouldn't want to all of that commitment so strongly right now. But definitely in the future, I want to get married and have kids.
Marriage, yeah. Kids, definitely. I definitely want children. Marriage is something I've thought about, and I would like a wedding and stuff, but it's not like a big deal for me.
I would like to think so. In Jesus' name. I would like to hope that eventually someone will love me enough and I will be able to love someone enough to build a home and have a good enough home built to be able to have children and raise them well.
Yeah, there's no pressure at the moment, as in from either side, but I really enjoy, I mean, I love my little cousins, I'm fond of kids, but it's a tough one because, of course, even though, to be honest, the biological clock's ticking, but then at the same time I know that it's not as if anything's forced to do with that at the moment.
Definitely kids. Marriage is either if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it's well.
I've always wanted to have kids. I never actually believed I would ever get married. Before this relationship, I was in a 5-year one, and it never really went anywhere. So I always thought, oh, I'm not gonna have kids, not gonna have marriage, kind of condoned myself to the fact. And then when I met Jim, it all kind of happened, and it was beautiful.
I think I'd be more disappointed if I didn't have kids than the marriage. I would love to be married. Like, it is a thing that's very important for me. That is what I would love, but to not have children, that would break my heart, I think. I would love to, at least even just one. You know, leave a little mini you. You know, I don't want to grow old and not have, and because I come from a big family, so I can't grow old and like not have these little people running around and all this craziness going on. That would make me sad if I grow old being lonely.
No, I don't know. No, I'd be disappointed. If I was like 70 years old and I've never been married, didn't have any children, then I might be a bit like, where did I go wrong? But my focus is my career. Like, as long as I make it in the movie industry, then I don't really care if I have a husband or children. I just want to just be successful, and then I'll focus on having a family.
I feel like because of the pressure that you get from like family and stuff, I don't think I would necessarily be heartbroken, like I won't die, but sometimes your family will be like, well, you know, you're the one who isn't married and doesn't have kids yet, because I come from an African background, and you do find there is a lot more pressure. Well, I mean, a lot of people from different backgrounds do have that pressure, but I find with my background there is that underlying pressure of, so Dion, where are the grandchildren? When are you settling down? So yeah, so I just hope that that's in my cards, because I'd love to have children and settle down with someone.
I wouldn't be disappointed if I didn't get married, but I would be disappointed if I didn't have kids. Very, very disappointed.
If I didn't have kids, I'd kind of be disappointed, but marriage, no, it's just a piece of paper.
I think a part of me would be, I think as a woman, there's always this idea about having to, you know, be a mother and have that maternal instinct, and I think most women innately have that. And especially for me, coming from an Italian family, I would be really sad if I didn't have my own children. And even if I wasn't married, I probably would have adopted or had my own, like through a donor or something.
Oh, let me tell you, that is one question I do not know the answer to. Why? Why? I don't understand, and it happens all the time. One, why do guys only want to talk to you when you are with someone anyway? Because when you're single, does anyone want to come approach me? No, no, they don't. I think they sense that you're happy, and you know, you're all jolly walking along, and they sense, oh yeah, she looks really happy, let me come and wreck her life. No, you're not gonna come wreck my life. But no, I don't understand why guys do that at all, because one time I was out in a club and this guy wouldn't stop pestering me, and I was like, you know, I've got a boyfriend, you know, don't want to waste your time, it's not gonna happen, but you know, enjoy your night, being really friendly, because these days you cannot reject a guy without getting, a lot of the time you might get a bit of they get a bit of sour grapes. It's happened before, you know, they get a bit too upset by your rejection. You're not even nice anyway, okay, you spoke to me, but so you know, I just thought I'll turn him down gently, whatever. But he kept on and goes, oh no, but your man's not me, but your man's not like me. Yeah, I know it's not like you, that's why I'm not with you. Why are you doing this? And I said to him, like, why would you want to talk to a girl? Why would you want to start, if I'm assuming if you're saying you mean good intentions, you want to get to know me, you want to be my guy someday, that's what you say. Why would you want to be with a girl who would so openly take your number even though she's with someone already? I don't understand that. Could you ever trust that girl? I couldn't trust her. So why would you want to talk to me? No. Stop doing it, stop it. It's annoying, in fact, it's very annoying. I said no, leave it alone.
I think some guys are just over persistent. They just don't get the picture. Like, if someone says no, just like leave it there, you know, let it go. On the other hand, I see why guys are persistent, because women are very indecisive, and women a lot of the time don't really know what they want. So if a guy picks that up, he'll just be like, yeah, I just got to keep trying, eventually she'll come around. But yeah, there's two sides to it. There's the the indecisive women, and then there's just the over persistent guys. So those could be the reasons why guys push too hard.
It's an interesting question. I'm thinking of different scenarios where that has happened, and obviously it can be whether or not someone's just passed you on road and you're like, no, I don't give out my number, and they're like, I just want to be your friend, and you're like, but that's a lie. Stuff like that happens a lot. But I mean, fair play to them if they want to be persistent, if they see something they like and they want to understand you. But speaking from a point of view where I know some guys will say anything to get in your knickers. So, I mean, they can be persuasive, as persuasive as they can in terms of for that. Other than that, I mean, if there's a situation where, because I've been in a situation where I've kind of, I wouldn't necessarily call it a relationship, but you know, you can be seeing someone, for example, and it goes further and further, but when it gets to the point where you might be in a relationship or not, you realise that person's not for you. So you kind of decide, look, let me back down, and the person's like, but no, why? And you're like, for goodness sake, leave me. that has happened, and that does happen. But at the end of the day, I feel like you've got to be right, not only for yourself, because you can try and force a relationship, but it's going to hurt both of you in the long run.
Yeah, you'd have to be desperate. It doesn't happen to me. Like, guys don't really approach me, if I'm being honest. Like, yeah, and if I say no, then they're just like, oh, okay.
I think they do that is because they still like you, basically. They're not just going to give up on the first try, which is actually a good attribute to an extent.
I have lots of views about this. I think men have this whole alpha thing going on, and they're like, well, you know, she may not want me, and the minute you say no, it's like ooh, hunter mode, I'm gonna try and get you at all costs. And the worst thing is, even if you say you're with someone, or you say you're a lesbian, if you say you're a lesbian, it's even worse, because they think, ooh, I'm gonna change you. I think it's just this innate thing in a man that wants to be dominant and a hunter. Well, not all men. Yeah.
I wouldn't say change. I think all girls in general like to mould our guys. That's the word, that's the term I like, you know, mould, like clay, you know. Not change him, because we don't want to change him, because that's the whole reason why we like him, because he is who he is. And you can't change anyone, and you certainly can't change a guy, really, unless he wants to be changed. Unless he wants to change himself, you can't change him. But moulding, you know, you just put little subtle hints here and there, like, oh, you know, you should do this, or why don't you think of wearing these kind of clothes? I bought you these jeans, you know, they're really nice. Yeah, why don't you try like dressing like that? That looks really good on you. Those little, I know all girls do it, so don't lie, we do it. But we do it in a way that the guy thinks that it's their idea. That they're changing because it's their idea, but it's not. But personality-wise, I don't believe anyone can change someone unless they want to be changed. Like, if a guy is a bit of a dog, I know a lot of us girls will be like, oh no, he's going to be different because he likes me. I don't think that's going to happen unless he genuinely wants to make that change himself. I don't think anyone can change anyone.
A little bit, just to make him a bit more, I can't even remember, maybe like a better cook. Just change little things like tidy up after yourself, we can change, I don't know, or like I like it when guys are really open, so I might just encourage them to be more open, but that's about it. Because I feel like if I had to change a guy, then I might as well just not be with him, because I'm clearly not happy with who he is. And then if he's easily changeable, then that's a bit unattractive, because I want a guy that's their own person, and he should be like, no, I'm not going to change for anyone.
No, I know that really they're always going to be deep down themselves. It's nature and nurture how they are, so I wouldn't ever want to change someone. Sometimes you just got to accept them warts and all.
I believe for the better, so it could be anything. It could be let's say, for example, if he wasn't really into trying to get a job, if he was being lazy with it, I would try and make him more driven to that. So just for me, trying to change him to be either a better person or to motivate him, but never to stop him from doing what he wants to do or anything like that. I don't do that.
There is a book. It's called The Game by Neil Strauss, and that book, well, that's one of the books. I used to work in a bookshop. That's one of the books. I had a look at it and I thought it was bad. The game talks about how to seduce a woman and that sort of thing, and it's just, I don't think it's right. It's like, even with the ones about men, I don't think books on relationships are beneficial. There's just too many personalities. People are just way too different. I know there's a general type of woman that everyone sees, but I don't think you can put it down in a book and how to approach every woman or how to treat every woman, because I know I'm very different to the next woman, and what I would accept might not be another woman's standards. So you can't put that in a book, not for a guy and not for a girl.
I think that book would be rather long. Many pages. I mean, it'll be good, I guess, if guys actually read it, I don't know if they would. I can't imagine a guy sitting on a train reading a book about how to think like, was it think like a woman, act like a man, or whatever, you know, or whatever. I can't imagine like a man sitting there like, yeah, you know. So if they actually read it or watch it, I guess it would be nice to have something like that for them to kind of, you know, see what we go through, and when we're like on their case about certain things, we're not nagging, it's just, you know, we're trying to help.
I think there are books on how to understand women. I haven't read them because I kind of feel like generically there's some things men and women might like or might find similar, but I mean, a lot of people are quite individual, so not to say I don't believe in them, because, you know, some of them might get things right every now and again, but people are so different. Like, you really don't know everyone. Like, people have so many different cultures, so many different backgrounds, so many different life experiences that either make them a better person or make them more attractive to you, or maybe the complete opposite, and you might not like them at all because of what they've been through and how they've become as a person. So I feel like for me, it would be interesting to read and to see if men actually even bother to read them, because a lot of the men I know don't really read that much. And the ones that do, I've never heard of them reading about anything like that. I feel like it's more women who tend to find the time to read stuff like that, because like it has come to a lot of people's attention that women are the ones who are kind of raised to see marriage as a goal. So for them it's made to seem like they have to do more to attract men, and therefore literature like that is more appealing to them. So I mean, I don't know, I think it depends really, because I don't see a lot of men looking into something like that. I mean, it would be interesting to see more books like that though.
I think there needs to be that book. I'm pretty sure there is that book somewhere. But yeah, men should read it. So many times, men and boys would just be like, oh, I can't understand women, they're this, they're that. So yeah, I think boys definitely do need help understanding girls.
I think that must exist, but it's not really in the public consciousness. Like, there must be magazines and actual books that does that, but if there was one that was that everyone knew about and it was popular, I think it would be really valuable.
I think it depends on the content, to be honest. I think if it's a book where the person's written it and they've taken ideas from speaking to a variety of different women, so they get a kind of general overall opinion, then yeah. But I think if it's just kind of male perspective of what they think a woman is like, then no.
I don't really agree with them books, because they're kind of like putting everyone into a box. Not everybody acts a certain way to any situation.
I think both books would be absolutely redundant and useless. I think people are people regardless of a book says that you should do this or not, and half the time I would just be pissed off if the book was right.
I'd say so generally, because a lot of these girls that I see like that, especially on Instagram, Insta famous, a lot of them, you know, showing off their bodies. And there's one girl, I won't mention any names, I don't know her personally, but I've seen her Insta, and she's always got like her tits are out. Oh, did I say tits? Can I say tits?
It's fine.
Okay. Her tits are out. Always, she's got quite a big bosom. They're always pushed up. You know, she's always taking pictures of her bum. And cool, that's nice that you love yourself. But I think it's so overtly in your face all the time. And then she put up a post one day saying, basically a picture saying, I don't understand why I'm still single. I'm a nice girl. Da 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 da. And she was like, yeah, this is how I feel. And I thought to myself, well, I can tell you why, love. Girls like that, I feel so mean, but a lot of the time girls like that are searching for love. The ones who, they say they don't want a man, but they do, they want a guy, which is why they're doing it, isn't it? Because they want male attention. But it's not, they're gonna get the wrong attention. They're gonna get guys who just think, yeah, this is just a quick beat, you know, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. You know, and you know, you're representing yourself in the wrong way. I don't think for a man, or a proper man, I'd say, would want to settle down with that. Imagine you bringing around your girl, you just got married her, and all your guys saying to her, saying, oh yeah, I know your wife, I know her, yeah man, you know, she used to be with blah blah blah, she used to be with John down the road, Tom down the road, you know, yeah, and she's like always got her body, yeah, I know your wife. That's embarrassing for the guy. So personally, I don't think a guy would want to settle down with a girl like that, unless she'd made significant changes and she kind of wanted to leave that lifestyle, leave it way behind. Not saying you can't have fun and dress up and be sexy, because I do, and my boyfriend can't tell me I can't look sexy. I'm gonna look sexy if I want to look sexy. But there's a limit. I think there's a limit, that's all. And yeah, I don't think, and if they do get a guy who wants to be with them, it's normally a guy who's just a dog. And that's sad, because, you know, these girls, they, like I said, a lot of them do want to be loved, and it's a shame. I don't think a lot of them realise what kind of image they're representing. They're confusing a guy's lust for something more.
Yeah, unfortunately that's not the case. It'll be good if it was the case, but things like Instagram and Twitter, you just see a lot of girls that are half naked and stuff, or being like really provocative with their pictures and statuses, and then boys are all over it, or men are all over it, like they love it. So I don't really know what kind of image, or I don't really know what kind of message they're trying to put out, but and I see guys marrying those kind of girls and stuff, so I don't know. I mean, like, each to their own. Like, if a guy wants to go for a gal that like gets naked like on Instagram and Facebook and everything, then that's great. And if a guy doesn't, then that's also good. But I would obviously prefer to be with a guy that likes respectable women.
That's not true, because there are strippers and porn stars out there who are very happily married. So, so to me, I don't think that's true. Like I said, each to their own. Like, everybody likes something. I mean, some people might marry someone because of how they dress. Well, not necessarily just because of how they dress, but that can be part of the whole package. Like I said, people are raised differently, so people are going to see something in someone that they like more or like less. So, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, everyone's got their likes. So there's someone for you out there if you dress like a thought. It's okay.
No, of course they'd marry her. It's all on their preference, basically. Yeah. It just basically it doesn't make her a slut if she dressed seductively. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's a big issue if everyone else sees what's like for them, I'd say. So that's why I probably agree with that.
See, if I was to place myself in a man's shoes, I personally wouldn't. But I know a lot of guys that are happily married, they love to show off their wife, and they don't mind if she dresses seductively, you know. It really does depend on the individual.
I'm not 100% sure if they really do base it on that. I think it's based on other factors. So if you go out and dress seductively and you act seductively 24/7 as well, I think that's where they would be like, no, I wouldn't really marry a girl like that. But yeah, I don't think, because a girl could be, you know, kind of wife material, but maybe when she goes out, she likes to, you know, like really dress it. Maybe that's her idea of dressing to impress. So I don't really think guys see it like that.
Someone who's funny, but also a proper man, like you will read about in the books. Like he's courageous, and you know, he's secure, and you want a guy who you feel secure with. You want that security. That's what I would want, to feel like, you know, I'm always okay. Like, he's doing his thing, he's got his job, or even if he doesn't, he's self-employed or whatever, but he has his dream and he's gonna go for it. He's determined. That's what I like. I want a guy who's got a drive, you know, got an ambition for something. He doesn't necessarily have to have a 9 to 5 or proper job where he's getting all this money, but I feel secure that I know I'm always going to be okay. We're always going to be okay. Someone who's loyal, definitely loyal, and that's hard to find, really hard to find, because I don't think we are humans and you know, we make mistakes, but I want someone who's gonna love me and definitely be honest with me. No matter what the problem is, just be honest, because from like my past relationships and things that I've gone through, I'm glad, even the ones that I've been heartbroken at, I'm glad I went through all of it, because it's taught me that I want honesty in my relationships now. Complete and utter honesty. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, I'll get angry. Yeah, you will get angry. But what can we say, because I've told you everything, you know? So definitely someone who's honest, loyal, funny, secure, has a drive, have a dream. Yeah, and also he's got a little heart. Well, that's not a big thing, but a nice body helps. Nice body helps. It helps. Yeah. And a nice haircut as well. And a nice fashion sense as well. Okay. I like a guy who could dress well. Yeah.
A man that I can obviously trust, that I can have a laugh with, that I see myself growing old with. A man that I would look at and I would be happy to be the father of my children. A man that would support me, and someone who I can support and who I can look after. Like, I'd love to look after someone and for someone to look after me equally.
Yeah, so a guy that takes responsibility, definitely trustworthy, caring. I think just someone who listens as well, is not afraid to be spontaneous either, kind-hearted. When there's going to be a bit of like a rocky patch or turmoil, isn't a coward, so faces head on issues that's got to be solved.
That is a good question. I like to think that someone who is godly, because, and I don't mean, oh, we just go to church, I mean godly and Christ-like in terms of what you know and understand as a Christian, to be Christ-like, to be full of love and to know what love means. I feel like the definition of love in the Bible encompasses how I want a person to be with me. That's how I find a lot of my friends, because they're like that, and I try to be like that. So I find that if I find a male friend who's like that, because I want to have a husband who's my friend as well, like, so we have a deep friendship first and then develop further. That's in terms of the marriages that I've seen that work out the best, a lot of them have been friends for years, as well as cared for each other and then become lovers, or however which way, but their friendship was like the biggest thing that made them so attracted to each other. And I feel like for me as a person, that's what I would like as well.
Ambition, definitely. That's attractive. And a little bit of mysteriousness, I'm not gonna lie.
Somebody that is a partner. I've never believed in the concept of soulmates. I think you are your own person and an individual, and you grow together. I think if that person is not willing to grow with you and go to that level, it's never going to really work, and you're just going to spend your time hoping one day that they'll come meet you halfway.
Be honest. And I think a lot of guys don't tell their girls when they fucked up, and I'm sorry. Oh, a lot of guys like don't tell their girls if like they sleep with someone else or they kiss someone or something madness or whatever. They don't tell their girls that. They think, oh, you know, she's gonna be angry with me, she's not gonna want to be with me. But I would say, just be honest with her, because anyhow she finds out, and let me tell you, a lot of girls will find out, because you think we don't know, but we know. We know, we just can't prove it yet, yeah? But we know. So while you're doing all of that, you might as well just be honest with her. And then she can't hold no grudge about you, can't be bitter about things. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying she will take you back, because, you know, if it's something like cheating, who wants to take you back? But definitely just be honest with her and love her. And I'm not talking about, oh yeah, babes, I love her, you know. And especially if she treats you right and she treats you like a king, then she deserves to be treated like a queen. She deserves to have a proper guy who will take care of her and only wants her.
My advice would be to be very, very honest about what you want in a relationship, because it's quite well known that women don't always know what they want. So if you are straightforward, straight up about what you want in a relationship or what you want in life, then the woman will be able to sort of think herself through and think, am I being honest? What do I want? Do I really want this? So you two will be on the same level.
Just love your girl and let her know that you love her. Don't hold back. Don't think that it's too mushy. Like, but then every girl is different. Like, I like a guy to let me know like how he feels, but some girls might think it's a bit too cringy. So just know your gal, and whatever it is that your girl likes, just do it for her, and then you keep her happy. And if we're happy, you'll be happy.
I think I watched something recently, and I'm not sure. It was a couple being interviewed on TV, and they spoke about a book that they were reading. I have no idea what the book is called, which is a shame. But they were talking about how there's 5 points to which one can show each other love and appreciation of how you are in the relationship. And the guy was saying, me as a man, but as a person myself individually, what I like is, I like the woman to touch me, and I like the woman to constantly compliment me, because it makes me feel good, it makes me feel loved. But he found out that the woman in the relationship, her thing is being bought gifts and spending time with her. And that was their two different, because they're different people, they understand love being shown in different ways. Because he could be constantly praising her and doing the things he likes to be done to him, but he found out that for her it wasn't really showing her enough love, because what she liked was being bought lots of gifts and spending quality time together. So it's really, I feel like, about, for guys, if they really want to understand someone, it's learning what they understand and what they like in terms of what they appreciate and understand of being shown love. Because if you love someone, that's what you do for them. So yeah, when I heard and was listening to what he was saying, it really made me think about that, because in past relationships I've been in, I'm very good at doing things for people, like in terms of what I think they might like, and also I realized a lot of the times that's what I like, rather than thinking, okay, well wait, maybe he likes it this way, or maybe he likes things done in a different way. There obviously someone's always going to show appreciation, but sometimes you have to think about it in the other person's perspective, and a lot of guys forget to do that. A lot of guys just look at how other guys do things, and their relationship could be completely different. That other person's girlfriend might only like it if you buy her roses. Your girlfriend might hate roses. She might like daffodils. Do you know what I mean? Like, so what I'm saying is, not just understand the person, but see what makes them happier. Because you can tell them, I love you, you look beautiful, and she might be like, you know what, I don't feel bloody beautiful. But if you buy her a dress and said, you know what, I thought this dress would look amazing on you, she might respond better to that, because that's what might make her feel more comfortable, more confident. So sometimes, yeah, just explore the other person to understand what they love, not necessarily what you think generically girls like.
One thing would be, don't always maybe think that the girlfriend is crazy. I think women have emotions that maybe guys don't really understand that well, I think. So that would be my advice, just to kind of listen, and actually, rather than thinking you're going crazy or, you're trying to hold me down and things like that, it would just be, just listen to her, because what she's saying may actually make some sense. So, yeah.
I just think, listen. I think a lot of people, I think this is just a general epidemic in the world today. Listening is it's a real art, and I think you should learn it, and I think you should actually listen to someone saying, I've had a shit day, can you please just hold me, and just do that.
I hope so. I hope so. I think they'll hear what I'm saying and understand. Maybe the other day when I spoke to that girl, I was a bit too persistent, you know, or yeah, they might change their approaches or become honest. Yeah, I hope so.
That's interesting. I have no idea. I mean, I would like to hope so. I mean, I hope I feel like because it's more pertinent to me as a person, if somebody's watching this and they're really attracted to me from that, I mean, it would help them. But not necessarily everybody else. But yeah, I mean, I hope this touches you. If you're a man out there and you're single and you're looking for love and you need advice, I mean, I hope the stuff I've said has helped you in some way or another. We'll see.
Yeah, I really hope, like, I guess little nuggets of what I've revealed has hopefully really like made you think. But obviously this is just like a personal perspective, and I realise like this documentary will give just a broad range, and it won't mainly be from me, maybe it won't mainly be from another person, but different things from all of us. Yeah, I just hope would benefit your outlook.
I hope so. I think I don't think I'm your typical kind of girl, and I'm in a long-term relationship with a man who's very independent and very alpha. You know, I think we're very happy.